Emperor Palpatine's status as a Sith heretic has been given a major boost in the Star Wars canon thanks to The Bad Batch Season 3, a key source of Darth Vader's anger towards his master. Having never fully supported the creation of the Death Star next to the power of the Force itself, Vader was never one to rely on the Empire's advancements or superweapons. However, Palpatine had even worse creations in the shadows, many of which were kept hidden for decades from even his Sith apprentice. In The Bad Batch Season 3, the Empire's Advanced Science Division, led by Dr. Hemlock, is secretly engaging in dark cloning experiments on orders from Emperor Palpatine, who's taken a keen interest. To that end, The Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 3 confirms that the most important work being done is none other than Project Necromancer, the very same project referenced in The Mandalorian Season 3 by the Imperial Remnant during the New Republic era. However, a key line from Palpatine seemingly confirms that the project itself would be quite heretical in the eyes of the Sith Lords. Visiting the secret Imperial facility hidden within Mount Tantus, the Emperor is taken by Hemlock straight to the collection of test specimens the Advanced Science Division has under heavy guard. Unfortunately, the specimens themselves are not shown beyond their foreboding black and red containers surrounded by what looks to be the language of the Sith. However, it is confirmed that these specimens have high M counts, meaning that they have strong Force sensitivities. The goal of Project Necromancer is to create a clone body that either matches or exceeds the M count from specimens whose blood is infused with the blood of various clones in the hopes of finding the right genetic combination, rather than hugely diminished M counts or ones that gradually deteriorates. If successful, Palpatine would be able to retain his power over the dark side after transferring his essence into a new clone body, in the event of his physical death. However, this concept would prove to only be a partial success as seen with Palpatine's return in The Rise of Skywalker. After promising the full resources of the Empire, Palpatine notes to Hemlock that there are those within the ranks of the Empire who would see the experiments conducted on Wayland as abominations. After all, the merging of technology with the supernatural power of the dark side is indeed an unnatural path even for the Sith. Keeping that in mind, it does seem as though Palpatine was referring to his own apprentice, Darth Vader, during that scene. Based on what's known about the future of the Star Wars timeline, it does seem like Vader would have a major issue with Project Necromancer. Although the vast majority of Sith doctrine is shrouded in mystery, Star Wars has confirmed that there are apparent limits and that certain crossed lines can be considered acts of heresy within the dark side of the Force. This includes the Sith Lord Momin and his work creating superweapons as well as architecture to enhance dark side abilities, work that ultimately labeled Darth Momin as a heretic in the eyes of the fellow Sith Lords. However, it does seem as though Palpatine became heretical in his own right while seeking to secure power over his empire for all eternity. For example, the canonical Darth Vader comics set in the aftermath of A New Hope saw Palpatine taking an interest in the Imperial scientist named Silo, who sought to substitute the Force with technology. Silo also created a means of transferring his mind between cloned bodies, which had Palpatine's attention as well. However, Vader accused Palpatine of Sith heresy once he saw these creations for himself, shortly before the Dark Lord destroyed Silo and his work. That said, Palpatine remained Vader's superior in the dark side. This meant that there was little the Dark Lord in his anger towards Palpatine could achieve beyond his failed attempts to overthrow his master during the original trilogy. Nevertheless, it makes sense that Palpatine would initially keep Project Necromancer a secret from his apprentice, as implied by The Bad Batch Season 3, as well as any other Imperials who would resist the idea of the Emperor living and ruling forever, via essence transfer and clone bodies capable of harnessing his power in perpetuity. It makes sense that Palpatine would hide experiments like Project Necromancer from Vader during the Empire's earliest days and Darth Vader's corruption as a Sith. However, it's worth noting that Vader was eventually shown his master's secret work in cloning experiments between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Upon visiting the hidden Sith world of Exegol in the Unknown Regions for the first time, Palpatine's apprentice was shown all of his dark experiments as well as the Sith Eternal cult in his service. Indenting to motivate subservience into his apprentice following Vader's defiance in the wake of Luke Skywalker's rejection in The Empire Strikes Back, Palpatine's overconfidence was likely at its peak during his redirection of his wayward apprentice, having zero fear or concern over Vader's anger and rage thanks to his superior ability in the dark side. Regardless of his status as a heretical Sith Lord though, there's no denying that Emperor Palpatine had enough power to rule his empire for decades despite said heresy. What did you think of The Bad Batch Season 3 premiere? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video, and subscribe for coverage of The Bad Batch as a new episode premieres every week, and remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always.